Hello, and welcome to Kindergarten Preview. I am Laura Noon, the very proud principal at Highlands Elementary. We were very disappointed that we weren't able to meet face-to-face in March. Thank you for your patience as we navigate through this process. We hope that you find this virtual kindergarten presentation helpful as you and your child transition to the 2020-2021 school year. The outcomes for our presentation today are to begin the conversation about your child that will continue for the next 6 years, and to provide information about our kindergarten program. What does our kindergarten program offer? It offers skilled teachers prepared to meet the needs of young students, excellent curriculum and resources, multiple opportunities to learn and grow, and a developmentally appropriate learning environment. In the next few slides, you will meet our kindergarten teachers. Miss Erickson, Mrs. Pager, Mrs. Pradle, and Mrs. Vandenberg. Throughout the year, your child will also interact with 2 classroom assistants, Mrs. Garhan and Mrs. Woker.
Hi there, I am Anna Erickson and I am one of the kindergarten teachers here at Highlands School. I will begin by discussing arrival and dismissal procedures as well as transportation. Students are allowed to enter the building at 8 o'clock and our day officially begins at 8:15. Our full day is from 8:15 to 2:30 p.m. Lunch and recess is from 11:15 to 11:55 a.m. There is also a half-day option that is offered as well. The half-day would be from 8 o'clock to 10:45 a.m. Before school, if you will be dropping your student off in the car lane, they will enter door 10 at 8 o'clock a.m. Walkers and bus riders would enter door 1 at 8 o'clock a.m. After school looks a little bit differently, and this procedure will be practiced on sneak peek day. There are different doors for kindergartners to exit the building based on the way they get home. Bus riders and daycare riders exit door number 2 and are supervised as the buses are loaded. During the first couple weeks of school, fifth grade helpers will be assigned to each classroom to walk groups out to the correct bus while classroom teacher follows behind to check each bus. Buses will also have a symbol on them so the kindergartners can learn to recognize that symbol as opposed to the bus number. For example, bus 31 would be a flower. Walkers and car riders will exit door number 3 in the back of the school. If you plan to use the carpool lane during the school year, please note that we ask you to meet your child outside of door number 3 for at least the first few weeks of school. It is quite a long walk for the kindergartner to do alone without practicing with you first. Backpack tags will also be given out to each student. Tags are colored based on how the student gets home. Bus riders would have a yellow tag, daycare riders would have a red tag, walker and car riders would have a green tag. This helps staff members that are outside on duty as they will be on the lookout for students in the wrong area. We ask that you please try to keep transportation consistent throughout the entire week, as this helps us as well as your kindergartner, as they are creatures of habit and will get used to the same consistent routine. If your child is going to be taking the bus, please make sure they do this the first few days of school when we have the support there, such as the 5th grade helpers, for example. In regard to changes to transportation, if there is any change to the way your child is going home on a particular day, you must email both your classroom teacher as well as the secretaries. Day of changes especially need to be communicated to both parties, as teachers may not have access to their email throughout the day. Our secretaries will then be able to communicate the change with us. Your child's safety is our utmost priority. Bus transportation is provided to families who live 1.5 miles or more from their home school. You will be able to access your child's bus number and bus stop location and time through Infinite Campus 1 to 2 days prior to the first day of school. Here is a look at our all-day instructional overview. We will start out with a morning meeting. We will then transition into whole group reading workshop. We will then have snack and recess, read aloud, math, lunch and recess, word study, writer's workshop, specials, and then science, social science, or health. Instruction starts at 8:15 and goes until 2:30 p.m. The literacy block is mainly in the morning, and this is because we have professionals in the building that are able to come in to support both the students and the teachers. Snack follows reading workshop at approximately 9:55. Students have 10 minutes for snack before going out for a 15-minute morning recess. Lunch is at 11:15. This might seem a little bit early, but it does break the day up nicely for some students. Specials are always from 12:45 to 1:35. One day per week is a no special day. This time is used for longer science or social science lessons, a special project, or some free play. Easing the transition. Independence is key. Students should be able to zip their jackets, change into gym shoes and boots, open bags and containers, eat lunch in 20 minutes, use the restroom, and pack a backpack. Eating in 20 minutes. It is recommended that you practice over the summer with a timer. Students will bring home any uneaten food, and this is a good way to judge how much they are actually able to eat in that 20 minutes. In regards to packing a backpack, please note that you don't really want a petite size backpack. You want a regular size, as your child will have several things that will need to be able to fit easily inside. A 2-inch binder will need to fit, as well as library books, their lunchbox, water bottle, etc. It will help ease the transition if students are able to put all of their belongings into their backpack on their own. Every little bit that they can be independent is helpful both to us and to them. There are a lot of tiny humans and only one of us.
Welcome, kindergarten families. My name is Elita Vandenberg, and I'm one of the kindergarten teachers here at Highlands School. I'm going to be talking to you today about our literacy block. In District 203, our literacy block contains the following components: reading, writing, phonological awareness, which is the study of sounds, and phonics, which is the study of letters and their patterns. At Highlands, we use the reading workshop model. Reading workshop is where kindergartners will begin their journey in reading. Throughout the day, the kindergarten teacher will be meeting in a variety of settings to help your kindergartner learn how to read. We start reading with a read aloud. Here's where kindergarten teachers share a book out loud and do some thinking. We might talk about the meaning of vocabulary words. We might talk about connections we have to characters. In whole group reading instruction, the kindergarten teacher is sitting in front of the classroom with a big book. This is so all students have access to text. Within this lesson, kindergartners will get a chance to help their teacher decode words and share their thinking about the story. Small group guided instruction is where a kindergarten teacher works with a small group of students reading a text that is at their level. Here's where kindergartners develop most. We work on comprehension strategies as well as how to read tricky new words. Students also can be seen in the classroom reading to each other. We have a literacy binder. Students work on singing songs and reading poems together to build their fluency and accuracy. Students also have their own individual book boxes so that they can practice reading those strategies in books at their level on their own. So how do you get your kindergartner ready to read and ready for kindergarten? Here are some things you can do at home. The most important thing you can do is read to them every single day. Some other things that you can do is help your kindergartner recognize their first name. Have them recognize letters in their first name. As you're reading, have kindergartners point to things on the page and see if they can name them. After reading a familiar story, see if your kindergartner can retell the story, something that happened in the beginning, the middle, and the end. You can also engage your child in singing songs and nursery rhymes. While you're in the car or taking a walk, see if your kindergartner can generate rhyming words. For example, a car might pass by. What rhymes with car? Star. Also, encourage your kindergartner to write with a variety of materials: crayons, pencils, markers. At Highlands, we use the writing workshop to teach our kindergartners how to write. Kindergartners will learn how to write pattern books, expert books on a real topic, telling true stories or personal narrative, teaching someone how to do something in a how-to book, and finally, sharing their opinions with an opinion piece. Writing workshop looks very similar to our reading workshop. Kindergartners are going to be writing throughout the year. You'll be surprised at how quickly their writing develops, first from pictures, then to random strings of letters, and then to your conventional writing with full sentences. Our writing lessons look like this. We'll start by studying a mentor text, and then the teacher will model their thinking, their saying, and their writing. Teachers and students will work together to write a shared piece. Then the teacher will invite the students to go off and write on their own. While the students are writing, teachers go from table to table and student to student to check in and do some final mini lessons within the student group. Handwriting is important in kindergarten. We're going to continue to work on developing those letters from the top down. To help you, we have our print right in front of you. We use the Zahner Blauser sticks and balls. We want to make sure that kindergartners are starting their letters from the top and pulling down. Also, grip is extremely important. Now would be a good time to check to make sure that their grip. We want to make sure that they have a circle and pinching their first two fingers. We even have a song to help them remember. It goes to the tune of Row, Row, Row Your Boat. It sounds like this. With your pointer and your thumb, give a little squeeze. Other fingers tucked beneath, writing is a breeze.
Hi, I'm Ann Cradle, one of the kindergarten teachers here at Highlands School. I'm going to go over the next few content areas with you, which will include math, science, and social science. This slide shows our math areas of focus, which include, they'll know the number names from 0 to 20 and the count sequence. They can be able to count from 1 to 100, count to tell the number of objects in a set, compare numbers, understand the concepts of addition and subtraction. They'll work with numbers to gain base 10 understanding of foundations for place value, describe and compare measurable attributes. They'll identify and describe shapes and analyze, compare, and compose those shapes. Some things you can do at home to support their foundations in mathematics is count every day. Probably the most important and powerful thing that you can do. Count forward, increasing that sequence as they achieve mastery. Count and sort objects in the house. Play board games, especially board games with dice. It's really important that they recognize dice patterns. Call attention to how math impacts our world. This gives value to what we teach in kindergarten in regards to numbers and number sense. Ask questions like, what if I had one more? Or what if I had one less? How many would I have then? This slide shows our math instructional settings, which include guided math, problem solving, math talk, which is our mental math curriculum, whole group work. We also use differentiated small group or math stations when students are working on solidifying a concept or need some more time to achieve a target for math. This slide shows our science and engineering standards. Kindergarten students will ask scientific questions. They'll make decisions based on investigation, observation, and discuss the results. So kindergarten usually really loves our science curriculum. It's mostly hands-on. They build models. They change those models according to what they discover and what they learn. Our units of study include weather and patterns, motion and stability, which leads to forces, and our relationships with plants and animals. Here you'll see a little bit about our social science curriculum. Kindergarten students will make connections and applications to the question, how are people connected to each other and the world around them? Our units of study in social science include relationships, needs, and wants, and determining the difference between those. We study the environment, we study national heroes throughout the year, and the physical environment and lifestyles of Mexico and the United States. We go on several field trips in kindergarten. We go to a theater performance, usually at the Rialto in Joliet, but we have been to other theaters as well. We go to a working farm in May as we study rural and urban communities. We give them a nature experience, and usually in the fall at the Arboretum when the leaves are changing, so that they can see that change of season. And we have a Mexican fiesta in May, as close to Dia del Nino, which is April 30th, as we can. Dia del Nino is a day of the child in Mexico, and it's a big holiday, so we try to celebrate that on the same time, on the same day as they do in Mexico.
Hi parents, I am Jackie Pager, one of the kindergarten teachers here at Highlands. One of the areas in kindergarten you will hear your child talk a lot about is specials. We have art once a week with Mr. Wood, music twice a week with Mrs. Marshall, PE twice a week with Mr. Wills, and LC Learning Commons once a week with Mr. Kressel. We have many times throughout the day that we learn through play and have explicit instruction of those important social skills. We work on cooperation and acting responsible, and many opportunities with social skills and learning about our emotions and how to self-regulate them or calming strategies to use if needed. Another time during the day to be social is during lunch. All kindergartners eat lunch together down in the gym with many supervisors on hand to help. They may bring their own lunch from home or purchase a hot or cold lunch from our food service provider, Airmark. We suggest they practice eating their lunch within 20 minutes at home over the summer. They will also have a 20-minute recess outside tacked on at the end. Technology is used many ways throughout our day. We each have a 1-to-2 ratio of classroom iPads that we use daily for literacy and math review. We each have a smartboard for projecting daily lessons and a sound system projecting our voices for all to hear. There is a green screen and B-bots and blue bots to be used in the Learning Commons. Communication is key here at Highlands. The classroom teacher sends classroom updates through a weekly email to inform families of upcoming dates and areas of study. There's also the Whale Watch, which is a weekly email from the front office. Talk 203 and the Virtual Backpack are weekly emails generated from the district. The Highlands School website is a great resource for archived newsletters, announcements, and calendars. The official Highlands Twitter page is @Highlands203. We are very excited for the start of the school year and to meet your little ones, the next graduating class of 2033. On August 19th, we will have Sneak Peek Day. Each kindergarten student will be assigned to come for an hour in the morning with a parent or parents to see their new school and meet their classroom teacher. Parents will attend a quick meeting in the LC while the children get acclimated to their classroom in a smaller crowd. We will play a Get Acquainted game, read a story, and take a classroom tour. Parents will then rejoin their child in the classroom for a cute project and to hear important information about our dismissal procedures that would start the next day. This is also a great time to drop off any supplies not ordered through Home and School, so we are all prepared for our first full day of school on August 20th. We all look forward to meeting you and your children when school resumes in the fall.
Hi, I'm Laura Nowicki, Assistant Principal at Highlands Elementary School. I'm here to provide you with information about how to enroll your kindergartner, as well as information about our district's dual language program. Our enrollment process is online. To enroll your child in our district, go to www.naperville203 kindergarten.org. Click on Services in the black bar at the top of the screen, and from there you'll click on 2020-2021 Kindergarten Enrollment. And from there you'll complete the intake form. Once this is done, an email will be sent to you with the next steps for completing the online enrollment and District 203 residency. All documents are able to be uploaded through the online enrollment process with the exception of your child's birth certificate. Once the governor's stay-at-home orders have expired, our centralized enrollment office will be reopened, and you will need to visit the district office at 203 West Hillside Road to provide your student's birth certificate and any other documents that you may not have been able to upload into our system. In order to attend kindergarten for the 2020-2021 school year, your child must be 5 years old on or before September 1st, 2020. In addition, all students must verify residency through the online enrollment process. Half-day kindergarten is an option at Highlands. For students attending half-day kindergarten, their school day would begin at 8:15 and end at approximately 10:45. Students would participate in the instruction that is scheduled during those hours. Our district offers a Spanish dual language program. The philosophy of this program is to educate students to become bilingual, biliterate, and multicultural in this ever-changing global society. This is an all-day model in which students will experience literacy and content, being math, science, and social studies, learning in 2 languages using the same curriculum as the general education classes. They will also have the opportunity to learn about the cultures of the Spanish and English-speaking worlds. If you're interested in enrolling your child in the dual language program, please enroll your child in kindergarten by May 15th to be entered into the lottery. During the enrollment process, mark that you want your child to enter the dual language program. Younger siblings of current dual language students are given priority enrollment. Please know they must be enrolled also by May 15th. The classroom makeup consists of approximately 50% of the students who speak English or other languages at home, as well as 50% of the students who speak Spanish at home. Highlands students who are selected to attend the dual language program would attend the program at the magnet site, which is at Riverwoods Elementary School. The form to apply for dual language is included in the online enrollment registration. Please remember the lottery application deadline is Friday, May 15th. For more detailed information about dual language, please go to our district's website, click on Academics, and then click on Dual Language. The district has created a very informative video that provides more information about this program.
For Highlands Elementary School. I am a registered nurse, and I also hold a professional educator license endorsed in school nursing in Illinois. So this was going to be my 16th year in school nursing, and are really looking forward to working with all of the parents in kindergarten. Also wanted to let you know that I work in the health office with Maylene Landy. She is someone that's been helping out in the health office for about 14 years now. She used to be a parent of Highlands, and she's in contact with me daily, even when I'm not in the building. I'm shared with Prairie Elementary School, so I'm at each building about 2.5 days a week. Maylene does have certification in first aid treatment and CPR. Wanted to go over with you a little bit the health requirements for kindergarten because there are quite a few state mandated requirements. And so I want to say right up front that during this period of COVID-19 and the stay-at-home orders and whatnot, we have not yet been notified that there will be any changes to the procedures this fall. So as of right now, all of the examinations are still due. So my suggestion would be that as soon as the governor's order is lifted at the end of May, if you have not done so already, to call your pediatrician's office and start making those appointments. The first exam that's required is the Certificate of Child Health. The physical exam for your student has to be on this state form. We are not allowed to accept any other forms but this one. And as you'll see here, that it has to be performed within 1 year of the first day of school. So that means any physical that took place on or after August 19th of 2019 will be acceptable. It has to be done by a licensed physician, nurse practitioner, or physician's assistant. And the very top of the screen there, you'll see that there are questions that parents are supposed to answer, whether or not their child has had any of those things that are listed there. And you do have to sign it and date it. That is a part of the law. So if you forget to do that, we will be contacting you and asking you to do that again. On the front page of the form, or where the immunizations are recorded by the healthcare provider, they do have to be signed and dated for that to be legal. And so again, if we discover after we get your paperwork that you're missing some vaccinations or something like that, we will let you know. A lot of times it's just that the physician's office forgot one. So luckily that could be solved pretty quickly. There is also a vision examination that's required for all kindergartners in the state of Illinois. The vision requirement should be fulfilled prior to the first day of school. And the exam must be performed within 1 year prior to the first day of school. So that takes us back to August 19th of 2019. I have parents quite often ask if that can be done by their pediatrician, matter of just standing and looking at the big E. And the answer to that is no, because it actually needs to entail physical examination of the eye, the interior of the eye, and so needs to be done with equipment that usually only licensed optometrists and ophthalmologists have. There is also a dental examination that is required for all kindergartners. With this one, though, we have some time before you have to turn that in. It is actually not due until May 15th of 2021, so towards the end of the school year. And they give you a little bit more time on that one, too. They give you 18 months prior to that due date, which means that any dental exam that's been done between November 15th, 2019 to May 15th, 2021. There is a form that needs to be filled out by your dentist. It is a state form. There's also a state form for the vision examination that we talked about on the last screen. If you'd like to get easy access to these forms, you can find them on the Naperville 203 website. You simply click on departments up at the top of the screen, and then you click on student services, and then you click on health services, and you will see that there will be a page to go to for forms. All of these examinations are there, and you are able to print them out. Now is a good time to start talking about some of those procedures for when students become ill at school. Parents are often anxious about this, and especially if it's their first child going to kindergarten. So we certainly understand that. Just want to go over briefly a few things with you in regards to the health office. First of all, attendance. Anytime that your child will be absent for any reason, you do need to call the health office number and let us know. That is also a requirement of the state, that schools know at all times where their children are. So you will call that number. It is available 24/7, and you leave a message. And Mrs. Landy will check those when she gets to work in the morning. So again, if your child's up late at night, perhaps vomiting, you can call that number right then, and then you don't have to worry about it and say that your child won't be in because they're vomiting. Same if they have doctor's appointments, if they're out for religious reasons, whatever it is, just tell us and leave us a message on the attendance line, which is also the same number as the health office. Talking about when will you, as the health office personnel, call us as parents. There are times when we do call you and we do have to send your child home. There are other times where we might just call you during the day to check in with you, let you know that something may be happening. So it's not necessarily when you get a call from us that it's an emergency. So please know that right up front. As of right now, the district requires us to send home a child if they have a temperature of 100 degrees or over. Again, I don't know if that will change this fall because of COVID-19. That is a possibility that we may have to send children home with a 99 fever. But again, that's just a possibility. We have no guidance on that yet from the Illinois Department of Public Health. So for right now, we'll say a temperature of 100 degrees Fahrenheit is considered a fever in a school. We would also call you if your child comes to school with any undiagnosed rashes. Their teachers will send them right down to us if they see any sort of a rash on your student. So if you know what that is, you're best to give the teacher and the health office a heads up as to what's going on. We cannot diagnose, we're not physicians. So if we are suspicious about any rash, we may ask you to take your child home. If you can get in to see the pediatrician right away and the pediatrician writes us a note that the child is not contagious, you can actually bring your child right back to school. We do call parents if their child receives a head injury at school. That is district protocol. So anything from the neck on up, if your child is hurt during the school day, you will get a phone call from us. There is a procedure that we follow, and there is a letter that gets sent home with your student in their backpack. Signs and symptoms to watch for in case of a concussion. If your student is showing symptoms of a concussion at that time that they're in the office with us, we would ask you to come and get them and take them with you. We also have students that take medication during the school day, and that could be anything from ADHD medication to EpiPens, asthma inhalers, whatever that may be. We do keep those in the health office, and we keep those medications locked up in a cabinet. There is a medication form that you have to fill out, and the doctor signs that form, and you as a parent sign that form. And then you must provide the school with the medication. The only thing that we do stock is we do have some EpiPens, but those are meant for the general population in case someone that does not have a diagnosis of a food allergy has one at school, and so that we have something to possibly save their life. We appreciate if you can drop off those medications prior to the first day of school. Otherwise, we have so many parents that are lined up at our door, and we do need to look at the paperwork and look at the medication and make sure that they match up. So we would appreciate if you could drop those things off prior to the first day of school. The health technician, so Mrs. Landy, she will be back the entire week before the first day of school. And I will be back the week of the first day of school. So you do have opportunities to come and bring us those materials. That medication form is also online in the same place that I mentioned the physical exams were. I also have emergency contacts written here, and that is because we just want to remind you that it is really, really beneficial if you can find someone that may be able to pick up your child during the school day if you are not able to. Especially our parents that work in Chicago. If your child has a fever, for instance, of 102, and you need to take a train and get back into Naperville, it can take a long time. And we are not allowed to give your child any fever reducing medication without a doctor's order. So your child ends up being quite uncomfortable waiting for you to come. So I highly encourage all of you to think about that and come up with an emergency contact that can maybe even just have them for a little while until you're able to get there. And then also important to keep all phone numbers up to date. Anytime they change, you want to make sure that they get changed in a campus, because those are the phone numbers that we're calling should your child be injured or ill. Just want to say here that I am looking forward to working with all of you, and we look upon this as a partnership. We all have the same goals in mind, which is that we want to make sure that your child is healthy and safe at school. And so we welcome any communication that you are willing to give us. And again, we will be calling you during the school day as well. So again, it was a pleasure. If you have any questions, we do have email that you can reach us at, and that is on the Highlands webpage. So you'll be able to find that for us. And again, welcome to Highlands School.
This concludes our kindergarten preview presentation. We hope you found all of the information to be useful and beneficial. I know we shared a lot of information with you in a short amount of time. Please feel free to access our Highlands webpage for this presentation and for other helpful information, as we do post all parent communication here. To give us a little more information about your incoming kindergarten hero, please use the link or QR code on the first page of this presentation. We look forward to seeing you and your child when school resumes. Thank you again.